Welcome to the Whiskers Sanctuary. Wherever you are right now, lying down, curled up, just beginning to let yourself go still, take a slow breath and let your body settle a little more completely into wherever it's resting. There's no particular place to arrive at, no particular thing to achieve. The afternoon has already done what it needed to do, and whatever is left of it belongs entirely to you. There is no night here, no dark, no deep, quiet hour before dawn. There is simply the middle of the afternoon, that slow and golden time when the day has passed its peak and begun its long, unhurried descent toward evening, when the light has softened into something warm and completely without urgency. And somewhere in that warmth, in a room where the afternoon has found its way through the glass and stretched itself across the floor in one long, still, golden shape, a cat is sleeping. Already there, already warm, already most of the way to somewhere very far away. Let yourself settle, and the warmth lingers. The afternoon is very still. Not the stillness of the night, which is dark and complete and asks nothing of the eyes. This is a different kind of stillness. The stillness of a day that has been busy and is now resting, that has moved through its morning hours and its midday hours and has arrived here at this quiet middle part of the afternoon and simply paused. Not ended, not finished, simply paused, the way breath pauses at the top of an inhale, full and held, and entirely without urgency to continue. The room is warm, the kind of warm that comes from hours of sunlight finding its way through glass and settling into walls and floors and fabric, accumulating slowly through the day until the air itself holds it. Not hot, not uncomfortable, simply warm in the deep and even way of a place that has been receiving warmth for a long time and has learned to hold it well. The kind of warm that asks nothing of the body inside it except to receive it. The light that comes through the window at this hour is not the sharp, bright light of morning. It has traveled further by now, softened by the angle of the sun, filtered through whatever clouds or leaves or curtains stand between it and the floor. It arrives here as something gentler, a warmth more than a brightness, a presence more than a light. It falls across the floor in one long, still shape, slightly golden, slightly hazy at its edges, where it fades into the shadow of the room around it. It does not demand to be looked at. It simply rests there on the floor, holding its warmth in that one place, the way a sleeping body holds its warmth, quietly, completely, without effort, and the warmth lingers. The sounds of the afternoon are distant and unhurried. Somewhere outside, something moves, a leaf, a branch, the passage of something slow through the air. But by the time any of it reaches the room, it has been so softened by walls and glass and the accumulated quiet of the interior that it arrives as texture rather than sound, as the faintest sense of the world continuing beyond the room rather than as anything requiring attention. The room absorbs it without effort. The afternoon absorbs it. Everything in this hour absorbs everything that arrives and returns it as stillness. This is the hour that asks nothing. The hour that simply continues, warm and unhurried, and completely without need of any response from the things within it. The The sunbeam rests across the floor like something that has always been there. Not placed there, arrived there slowly over the course of the morning and the early afternoon, finding its way through the window at the particular angle that this hour allows and settling into this particular shape on this particular part of the floor. It is not the same shape it was an hour ago, and it will not be this shape an hour from now. But that movement is so slow, so far below the threshold of anything that can be watched directly, that it does not feel like movement at all. It feels like stillness, complete, unhurried, utterly settled stillness. The warmth of it is real, not metaphorical, not suggested, actually warm. The particular warmth of direct sunlight that has been filtered to something gentle, that presses softly against whatever it touches, the way a hand presses softly, the way a blanket presses softly, with that quality of contact that is not demanding, but simply present, simply continuous, simply there, without any need to be anything other than what it is. The floor within the sunbeam is warmer than the floor outside it. The air just above it is warmer. Everything within it is held at a slightly different temperature than the rest of the room. Not uncomfortably so, not noticeably so, just held, gently, steadily, and the warmth lingers. And in the warmth, the cat. It is lying in the center of the sunbeam with the particular abandon of a creature that has found exactly the right temperature in exactly the right place and has absolutely no intention of going anywhere. Its body is fully given to the floor, not coiled, not tensed, not maintaining any readiness for movement, simply spread, loosely in the way that bodies spread when warmth has worked its way into every part of them and there is nothing left to hold. One paw extended forward slightly, the other tucked somewhere beneath the chest. The tail looped in a slow arc that suggests nothing except complete ease with existing. The sunbeam rests across the cat the way the cat rests across the floor, completely, without gap, without any part of either of them withheld from the contact. The warmth moves through the fur the way warmth always moves through fur, slowly, thoroughly, finding its way into everything it touches, until the fur and the warmth and the slow rising breath beneath them are all at the same temperature, all part of the same warm and unhurried thing. The cat does not move. There is no version of this hour that requires it to. The cat's breathing is slow. Not the slow of sleep exactly, or not yet, but the slow of a body that has been warmed all the way through and has let go of any reason to breathe quickly. Each breath rising from somewhere low and unhurried, filling gently, and then releasing again just as gently in the long, easy rhythm of something that has stopped thinking about breathing and allowed it to simply happen on its own at whatever pace it naturally finds when given permission to find it. The rhythm is not regular in the way a clock is regular. It is regular in the way that water is regular, always moving, never exactly the same, never in any hurry. The warmth has settled all the way through the cat's body now, not just on the surface where the fur receives the sunlight directly, but deeper, through the skin, into the muscle, into the slow warmth of a body at complete rest. There is a particular quality to this kind of warmth. It is not the sharp warmth of something recently applied, not the warmth of exertion or excitement. It is the warmth of something that has been building gradually for a long time, and has arrived at a depth where it can no longer be distinguished from the body itself. The cat is warm. The cat is the warmth. The boundary between the two has become unclear, and the unclarity is comfortable, and the comfort is complete, and the warmth lingers. The weight of the cat on the floor is total. Every part of it given to the surface below, not held above it even slightly. The paws are heavy. The head is heavy. Even the fur lies flat and heavy in the warmth, pressed gently downward by its own small weight, by the warmth above it, by the accumulated ease of a body that has been resting long enough that resting is now simply what it is rather than something it is doing. Its eyes are not fully closed, but they are very nearly so. A thin line of amber below each lid, receiving the warm golden light of the afternoon without processing it, without translating it into anything, without asking anything of it. The light simply falls on the eyes that are simply receiving it, and neither the light nor the eyes require anything of the other except this simple continued presence, this unhurried mutual receipt of warmth and the willingness to receive warmth, which is the easiest exchange two things have ever made. And the warmth lingers. The afternoon continues its slow passage outside, the sun moving through its arc by degrees, so small they cannot be felt, the shadows in the room shifting by fractions that no one is counting. The sunbeam remains, its warmth remains. The cat remains within the warmth, and the warmth remains within the cat, and the afternoon holds all of it in its slow and golden and completely unhurried way. The cat is drifting, not into sleep all at once, into the space just before it, which is its own particular state, different from both waking and sleeping, and in some ways more pleasant than either. The place where thoughts, if there are thoughts, arrive without urgency and depart without being followed, where awareness continues but without any of its usual sharp edges, softened by warmth, by the slow rhythm of breath, by the particular quality of this hour that seems designed, if hours can be designed, to make the transition between awake and asleep feel not like a crossing of a line, but like the gradual disappearance of one. The warmth is doing its work. This is what warmth does when it is given enough time and enough depth and nothing to be interrupted by. It works its way into the body from the surface inward, layer by layer, until it reaches the place where decisions are made and loosens them slightly. Not eliminating them, not preventing them, simply making them feel less necessary, less urgent, less like things that need to happen now rather than later. The cat is not deciding to drift. The cat is simply finding that drifting is what is happening, the way a leaf finds that floating is what is happening when it lands on still water, not by choice, but by the nature of what it has landed in. And the warmth lingers. The edges of the room are slightly less distinct than they were, not because the light has changed, it hasn't, not in any way that can be measured, but because the attention that was, even loosely registering them, has softened, moved inward. The room is still there. The sunbeam is still there. The warmth is still there. But they have receded slightly, the way things recede when the mind turns its attention toward the interior, toward the slow breath and the heavy warmth and the long, unhurried nothing of an afternoon that is simply continuing without asking anything of the thing resting within it. The cat's breathing has slowed further, to the very bottom of its range. The rise so small it is barely visible. The falls so gradual it seems to take a long time to complete. And the pause between them, that long, still pause where the body is neither breathing in nor breathing out, but simply resting in its own emptiness, growing longer with each cycle, deeper, more complete, more like the rest that follows, rather than the breath that preceded it. And the warmth lingers. Time has stopped meaning what it usually means. The afternoon continues. It must continue. That is what afternoons do. But from inside the warmth and the weight and the slow drift, its passage has become something felt rather than tracked, something received rather than measured. The cat is not counting the minutes. The cat has no minutes. There is only the warmth and the breath and the floor and the sunbeam that rests across everything and continues to rest there and will continue to rest there, warm and unhurried and completely without need of anything from the sleeping thing within it. The cat is very still now, stiller than the floor beneath it, which at least has the faint vibration of the house around it, the almost imperceptible movement of air through the room. The cat has gone below all of that, below the level at which movement registers, below the level at which the difference between the cat and the warmth it is resting in can be meaningfully measured. It is warm. The warmth is here. The afternoon is here. And the cat is here. And all of these things have become, in this long and slow and golden hour, the same thing. The sunbeam has not moved, or has moved so slowly that the movement is indistinguishable from stillness, which amounts to the same thing for any practical purpose. And this is not a moment for practical purposes. This is a moment only for warmth and breath, and the long, unhurried continuation of an afternoon that has nowhere to be and nothing to do, and will simply remain here, resting its warmth on everything it touches, for as long as it is here to rest. And the warmth lingers. The cat's breath rises and falls, and the pause between them is longer than before. And the warmth fills the pause, and the warmth fills everything, and the afternoon holds it all, and the warmth lingers, and the sunbeam rests, and the cat rests within it, warm and still and held, and the warmth lingers and lingers and lingers still. And wherever you are right now, perhaps you can feel it too. That same warmth, that same weight of an afternoon that has nowhere left to go. Nothing is required of you right now. Nothing needs to begin. The warmth lingers, and you are already drifting, already warm, already resting, all the way